Okay. Should we do an introduction of ourselves?
Yeah.
First, we should say that we're Gus and Molly. We're the
Yeah.
brand design team at Universe. Okay, so this is the site we're going to talk about building with images. So this is like the full desktop, but if you drag the window to be more narrow, like how it responds. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in this one, the images like scale down really nicely for mobile. So we thought it would be a good example to talk about image scaling and how to get this kind of result. Gus is building in the web app so that you can access from any browser.
So we're gonna start with adding an image. Three,
So yeah,
four.
you have like the text built out here already. You have like the logo and the menu stuff.
Mm-hmm. One,
Mhm.
two, three, four, five. So we're gonna add an image of your choice. Gonna use the same image. Gonna select the block size to 3 by 4.
So this block size, it's really controlling the aspect ratio. So when you select like 3 by 4, it means that no matter the size of the window, the image will retain that aspect ratio. So 3 across, 4 down, or like whichever one you select.
And with this layout, we're gonna choose 3 by 4. We're gonna send the image to the back so we can see the text above. But we're gonna slightly scale it down a little bit with the custom handle. So
And is that so that why are you scaling it down?
I'm scaling it down so, the bottom line of the image kind of fits perfectly with the edge of the screen.
Nice.
And then we're gonna add a little margins to the image. We're gonna scroll down to the properties, maybe small margin to give it a little space.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna add some image to the right hand side of this, maybe 2 blocks in the bottom. This image, we're gonna do the aspect ratio to 1 by 1, small margins. Okay, so we're gonna publish to take a look.
Would you say you like publish to check quite often when you're building?
All the time. I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to see the results immediately, and you can kind of tinker with it after seeing what needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
And go back into edit. I feel like the image could use a little more space in the bottom. I'm gonna drag this down a little bit. And then maybe we can duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna drag it down here to kind
Okay.
of create the layout. And then maybe duplicate this one as well
Mm-hmm.
over here. So we kind of have like an alternating layout, but similar going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then maybe I'll replace the image over here to something else. Image, and then same here. Replace color of the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good starting point. And
Nice.
then if we want to add like a horizontal image in the bottom, I'll just drag out maybe the whole row,
Mm-hmm.
upload, and then maybe gotta edit the properties.
Oh
It's
yeah,
quite
that's pretty
large.
big.
We're gonna do maybe 4 by 3, so it's
Mm-hmm.
much smaller. Add some margins and maybe scale it up.
And are you setting all of these images to fit instead of fit image? Yeah,
Yeah,
all fill instead of
I'll
fit.
fill instead of fit. Fit works well, but in order to
Right,
achieve the results of it filling the whole screen, fill is a great option. And then
right.
remember to add the small margins,
Uh-huh.
keep it consistent. And okay, let me publish it, view the site.
Nice. That looks so good.
Ta-da.
And then what happens when you scale it down?
Let's look at the scaled down results.
This has been like a new part of the testing since we have the responsive grid where it's like helpful to check it at both desktop and like a narrower mobile size. Cool.
Nice.
Since we released the responsive grid, we've been redesigning our website because we can do a lot more stuff now. So just to show like what I'm going to be showing, this is like our current homepage website, and this is the header. And with the redesign, we made it look like this. So we have this like edge to edge logo, and yeah, everything's more edge to edge and it responds better for mobile. But the way that I did this header was kind of cool. Wasn't able to do this before. So basically, I used an SVG, which I didn't even know you could use in Universe, but you can. So what I did was first I added an image, but instead of adding an image from my photos, which I usually do, I added it from my files. And I have to find it.
So are there any benefits from using SVG versus PNG?
So the benefit in terms of using it on a website is an SVG is a vector format, and so it's not pixelated. Like it doesn't have a size. It's it's basically like a code, and what it tells the website is like a series of points, basically. And so that's how
Hmm.
it makes the image. That's as far as I understand it. Um, so it's great for the desktop and mobile because at any size it will render perfectly, as opposed to a PNG, which like if I made it really large, it might take a long time to load. The only thing with SVGs is that sometimes they act weird, so like they're a little bit more buggy to use, but in this case, I figured out how to use it without it bugging out. You can see it is like really cropped how it is. So the first thing you do is go to style. And at first I tried doing the fit whole image option, but this with SVGs is where things start to get really buggy. If you do this option, it will look good and you can like, drag it down to be smaller and you're like, okay, this solved the problem. But for whatever reason, when you use the fit whole image, it renders like really tiny sometimes. So you have
Hmm.
the crop to fill option. And then what you have to do is no margins. You select custom block size. And when you select custom versus fixed, custom is basically like a custom aspect ratio that you determine, and fixed means that the row height is like a fixed pixel height. So
Hmm.
they're doing different things. And then basically what I did once I selected custom was I just used my finger to drag it until I could see kind of manually that like the logo was fitting in. And this took me a couple tries because I'm just using my finger. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, looks like it's fitting edge to edge.
Okay, I think that looks pretty good. You can kind of play around with that, but I think that looks pretty good. And then I published it. I always check it on mobile, you'll be able to open it and like test it on mobile Safari, check that everything's working. It's all working fine. And then I usually will check it on desktop to make sure that it's also working on desktop and like that the scaling is all playing.
Yeah, it scales beautifully.
Yeah, I was so happy when I saw this because we never would have gotten anything this big before. And it looks good. But yeah, so that's one way of using images to do something like a header. You could do this with a PNG too, and actually it might be a little bit easier, but it wouldn't be as crispy. But I'd say with SVG, it definitely requires a lot of tinkering and testing, and the fill option generally works better with the files than the fit whole image option.
Great.
Nice.
Nice.
We did it.
Nice.